In any big family like the Browns, there's always tension between different groups. But this time, Robyn Brown confirmed what viewers have suspected for years, and the fallout is messy. Robyn suggested that some members needed to work things out, while Janelle was on fire, calling out inconsistencies directly. Meanwhile, Mary, though visibly emotional, finally shared some heartbreaking insights about Kody's behavior back when the family first moved to Las Vegas. And if you heard a loud gasp, that was the entire Sister Wives community reacting to Robyn's comments about the main part of the family. A stunning admission that seemed to separate her and her kids from the rest. Until now, some fans hadn't realized how deep the division ran. Robyn's statement made it clear. A kind of inner circle had formed, and Robyn was firmly in it. Robyn's off-road accident sparks debate. Later, Robyn and Kody went off-roading on a date. Moments after announcing she had been riding four-wheelers since she was 13, Robyn fell off the vehicle, in a scene many fans felt looked suspiciously staged. Even Kody commented, "It looked like you did it on purpose," raising even more eyebrows. Some fans joked online about the idea of stunt doubles, but many agreed. The incident felt awkward and overly dramatized. When Kody rushed over and clumsily removed Robyn's helmet, despite the obvious risk if there had been a neck injury, it only made the scene feel more chaotic. The tension between the two was clear and set up the confrontation that would follow. The sunset that never happened. Kody and Robyn picked a spot on Coyote Pass to watch the sunset, but they never actually stayed to watch it. Instead, the scene quickly shifted into a conversation filled with awkward pauses and forced lines. Kody admitted something shocking, that he had once felt like the rest of the family was in the way of his personal goals. Robyn tried to soften the statement, but Kody didn't back down. Viewers noted that Kody was being unusually blunt. He wanted what he has now, a monogamous life, even if it meant leaving others behind. But Robyn wasn't fully satisfied either. She seemed torn, wanting the lifestyle benefits of monogamy without the label. Their differing expectations came into full view. Robyn names the main family. In one of the most jaw-dropping moments of the episode, Robyn said there was less focus on the main part of the family, clearly implying that she and her children were the main family. This left many fans furious. Robyn didn't seem to include kids like Truly and Savannah, both of whom were still young and very much part of the family at the time. Even more ironic, Robyn once famously limited how much time others could spend with her kids. Now she was upset that others hadn't prioritized her family. The contradictions were too glaring to ignore. Kody's brutal honesty shocks everyone. At one point, Kody flat out told Robyn that he didn't miss anything about his former marriages. He said he was done, and it was time to move forward. Robyn tried to push for a different narrative, suggesting maybe things weren't so final, but Kody wasn't budging. He had what he wanted now, and he was bluntly asking Robyn to let go of the past. This was some of the most straightforward, almost shockingly honest dialogue we've ever seen between them. Mary's heartbreaking revelation. Meanwhile, Mary shared a painful memory. Years ago, she had made Kody a quilt from t-shirts they had collected over the years. After they moved to Vegas, Kody asked if he could have the shirts back, a gesture Mary described as a gut punch. She also recalled Kody telling her, "You were difficult for 20 years, so now you'll have to wait 20 more for me to fix our relationship." In confessional, Mary observed that no matter what she did to improve things, it was never enough for him. Her honesty was heartbreaking, but also incredibly empowering. Final thoughts. As chaotic as this episode was, it revealed so much about the real dynamics behind the scenes. Robyn's insistence that she and her children were the main family, Kody's brutal admissions, and Mary's courage in sharing her story all painted a picture that was raw, painful, and very, very real. The fractures that fans suspected for years are now out in the open, and they're setting over Coyote Pass, the landscape golden and deceptively peaceful. But within the walls of the Brown family's fractured world, storms were gathering, and this time Robyn Brown stood at the very heart of it. It had been building for months, whispers threading through the family like cracks in the foundation. First small resentments, then full-blown accusations. And now, Robyn, once the self-proclaimed peacemaker of the Brown family, had drawn a line in the sand so deep it would be impossible to cross back over. It all started during an emotional sit-down that the cameras caught during the latest season of Sister Wives. Robyn, with misty eyes and a carefully measured tone, had said what many suspected she had always believed, that her children with Kody were the main family, and that the others, Kody's 13 children from his previous marriages, were somehow peripheral. They chose to move away, she said, voice cracking slightly for effect. They chose distance. We stayed. We remained the core. Across town, the ripple effects hit like an earthquake. Christine sat at her kitchen table, gripping her coffee mug a little too tightly. Janelle stared at the television in disbelief, mouth open in shock. Even Mary, ever the loyal soldier even in exile, blinked back tears. It wasn't just what Robyn had said, it was what she meant. That Kody's children with Mary, Janelle, and Christine, Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, Mykelti, Aspen, Peyton, Wendlin, Isabel, Savannah, Leon, and Truly, were somehow less than Solomon, Ariella, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. And for those 13 kids who had grown up weathering moves, instability, broken promises, and the constant shifting tides of plural family life, it was a gut punch. Behind closed doors, Janelle didn't hold back when she gathered her kids that evening. She said what we always knew, she said bitterly, slamming the remote onto the coffee table. You aren't considered part of the main family anymore. Maybe you never were. Garrison crossed his arms, a muscle ticking in his jaw. That's fine. I'm done pretending. I gave up trying to make Dad see me a long time ago. Savannah, quiet and thoughtful, simply whispered, I guess it's official. Over at Christine's, the mood wasn't much better. Mykelti, pregnant again, looked wounded. Wendlin shook her head in disgust. Truly, still young and trying to make sense of the endless divides, simply looked at her mother with pleading eyes. They don't get to decide whose family, Christine said fiercely, brushing Truly's hair back. We decide that. You're loved. All of you are loved. But even as she spoke, Christine felt the bitter sting of reality. No matter what she said, Robyn's words had cracked something that could never fully heal. Kody's corner. And where was Kody in all this? Sprawled across his leather couch at Robyn's house, stewing in frustration. They don't understand loyalty, he ranted, arms flailing. They don't understand what it takes to stay. Robyn and her kids stayed. Robyn patted his knee, wearing a mournful expression. I just wish they had made more of an effort, she said, carefully phrasing each word. To be part of this, to be part of us. Maybe they didn't want to be part of this, Aurora muttered under her breath, but Robyn shot her a look, and mind, loyalty meant proximity. It meant being here, at Robyn's house, celebrating holidays his way, under his rules. And if the other kids had grown up and moved away, seeking their own lives and dreams, well, to Kody, that felt like betrayal. To Robyn, it felt like validation. She had won, hadn't she? The fallout. The next few weeks were brutal. Phone calls went unanswered. Group texts dissolved into silence. Invitations to family events were awkwardly lost in the mail. At one point, Janelle tried to reach out, a tentative olive branch. She texted Kody about a potential family dinner, suggesting everyone gather at a neutral restaurant, no cameras, no drama. Kody's reply was chillingly brief. Maybe another time. Too busy. She never tried again. Meanwhile, on social media, the kids began to tell their own stories. Wendlyn, never one to hold back, posted a video. Imagine growing up in a family where you thought you were loved equally, and finding out years later you were just a side quest. The video went viral within hours. Fans flooded the comments with support and outrage. Christine, though proud of her daughter's bravery, knew the damage was irreversible now. The facade had cracked wide open, and no carefully crafted TLC edit could hide it anymore. Robyn's regret, or lack thereof. Behind her tear-streaked confessionals, Robyn remained unmoved. In private, she felt vindicated. Hadn't she always been the one holding things together? Hadn't she been the one trying to keep Kody connected to his children, while the others, Christine, Janelle, even Mary, let go? She told herself these things as she organized yet another family dinner. This time, just her children and Kody. The main family, as she saw it. As Solomon and Ariella played at her feet, Robyn smiled, a little sadly, but mostly with satisfaction. If the other kids wanted to be part of this family, she thought they should have tried harder. Voices from the outside. But outside her carefully curated world, the other children were thriving in ways Robyn would never understand. Logan had built a successful career and was happily married. Madison juggled motherhood with grace and strength. Hunter, despite his estrangement, was achieving milestones that made his siblings proud. Garrison, wounded but determined, poured his energy into his own dreams. Gabriel, struggling, but still standing. Each of them had learned resilience in the absence of a father who had made it increasingly clear they were not his priority. They leaned on each other instead. A messy, complicated, beautiful family stitched together by shared history and hard-earned love. Meanwhile, the more Robyn tried to shrink the Brown family into something neat and manageable, something she could control, the more it unraveled. Janelle's final word. In one of the season's most powerful confessionals, Janelle stared straight into the camera, eyes clear. We built a family together. All of us. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. And now it feels like Robyn decided who counted and who didn't. She smiled, but it was tinged with sadness. But the thing is, family isn't something you get to gatekeep. It's something you fight for, something you choose over and over. And my kids, they'll always be family, whether Kody or Robyn recognize it or not. It was a mic-drop moment, and it resonated far beyond the walls of Coyote Pass. A new dawn. As spring settled over the desert, life moved forward. The OG kids built families, careers, and communities of their own. Christine found joy in her new marriage. Janelle built a business she loved. Even Mary, scared but stronger, carved out a new path for herself. And Kody and Robyn. They remained at Coyote Pass, holding tightly to their smaller, quieter family, a monument to what had been lost and what could never be rebuilt. Some wounds never fully heal. Some families, once broken, never fit back together the same way again. But amidst the ashes, the children of the Brown family, all of them, learned to stand taller, love harder, and build something new, without needing permission from anyone.